Hi, I'm Julia, and this video is for elementary school pinch pots. I have several examples here, some glazed, some not. This is the ceramic clay that I'll be using. This is a pinch pot that was made by one of my kindergartners, and it's been bisque fired once. It does not have any glaze or color on it. This one was made by one of my first graders, and it has melted glass marbles inside and a clear glaze on the white clay itself. So that was a very cool project. They really enjoyed that one. 3 simple steps to making a pinch pot. Step 1 is make a ball or a sphere. Different people do that in different ways. My students like to roll the ball on the surface of the table or in between their hands. That's fine. I like to cup my hands, and I squeeze and pat as I rotate it in my hands like this. And you can do it whichever way works best for you. Step 1, make a sphere. Step 2, hold that sphere in one hand and take your thumb with the other hand, and you want to push a hole right down in. You don't want to do your thumb this way. You actually do get clay up in your fingernail, and you push, holding that in your hand so it's curved. So you have the curve. You don't want to flatten it on the table. You go fairly deep, pull your thumb out, and you will see that hole in there. And then that's step 2. So step 1 is the sphere or the ball. Step 2, push your thumb hole into it. And step 3 is to pinch. And you do this by pinching and holding your hand. I tell my students it's like a shadow puppet. And so the fingers are closed. It's not with your fingernails like this. So I put my thumb all the way back into that hole again, and I start from what would actually be the bottom of your pinch pot. I make sure, or you might be calling it the top if you're holding it up, but I start up here around that top edge, or what actually will be the bottom of the pinch pot. Gently pinching, of course. What's happening to the hole? It's getting bigger. And I'm starting to move my hand from here all the way round and down to the bottom edge as I pinch. So the hole is getting bigger and bigger as I pinch, and you want to try and pinch the walls so that all of from the bottom all the way up to the top edge is even thickness. It's going to fire better that way when you do that. And you can see some fingernail marks down in there from my thumb, but you can smooth those out. It's starting to crinkle on the top edge. This clay is pretty fresh, so when your clay is fresh, it's pretty easy to smooth out. If your clay is a little drier, then you can always dip your fingertip in a little bit of water and smooth it out, but you want to be careful not to use too much water. So I've got my pinch pot shape ready, pretty even, and as you can see, because the clay is fresh, I can just take my finger and gently spread and smooth that out. In my experience, students tend to use way too much water, so I like to not even have the water out if I can help it. Otherwise, it turns into a big muddy mess. And I'm shaping it and rotating it, and as I turn it, cleaning up all the edges, and then to make the flat spot so it doesn't rock and roll on the table, I can take it and press it or tap it. Smooth out the bottom on the inside. And so there we have the pinch pot. Now, sometimes there are little crinkles and stuff in the outside. If it's a higher level grade and we're going to decorate them, then we might take some time to smooth this out. But as you can see with the younger students, we don't worry so much about that. This is kindergarten level. This one is first grade level. So you can see there are quite a few lumps and bumps, and that's okay. They have a wonderful time with these. So there we have